welcome to today's exercise video. My name is Liz, I'm a registered kinesiologist, and today I have Erica with me, and she's a recreational therapist. Today we're going to be focusing on an upper body exercise class. So for today, you may need a couple things before we get started. First and foremost, a sturdy chair, whether you're standing behind it or you're sitting on it like Erica is. She'll be demonstrating a lot of the modified versions of the exercises that we do today. A couple other things that you may find yourself needing. Today I have a can of soup. A hand weight works as well, as long as you're comfortable lifting it for your shoulders. Erica today has a light pole or cane, whatever you have in your home. Maybe it's a broomstick, maybe it's a cane. And we both have an exercise TheraBand. Now, if you don't have a TheraBand at home, don't worry. You can always use either a pair of pantyhose or a tensor bandage, whatever you have that has a little bit of give to it. So we'll get started with a little bit of a warm up, and then we'll dive into some cardio to get our heart rate up, and then we'll get into some upper body strengthening, followed by some stretching at the end. Let's start with our warm up today. So I'm gonna start scooping up that air, tapping those shoulders, take a deep breath in, and push that air away and down. Perfect. Deep breath in and out. Gauging how our body's feeling today, doing that full body scan. We wanna make sure our body's ready to go for exercise. Deep breath in and out. Perfect. Maybe over-exaggerate that movement, make it nice and big now as we go on here. 2 more. And last one. Perfect. Take it to those wrists for me and roll those wrists out like you're conducting an orchestra. Open and close those fists, getting into those finger joints. Sometimes it feels really nice if you have arthritis or with any change in weather. Really focusing on those smaller joints in our hands and our wrists. And then we'll relax, drop those arms down by your side, maybe give me a good shoulder roll, working out any kinks, any areas of stiffness, depending on what your days looked like so far. Perfect. Trying for maybe a few more this way. And then I'm gonna start going the opposite direction. So whenever you're ready, roll those shoulders forward. Sometimes this direction feels a little bit more uncomfortable or awkward. If you notice any pain or discomfort, make sure that you're taking a rest. Good job. We'll relax those arms. I'm gonna give my lower body a little bit of love here, starting with a light march, lifting up those legs just to bring some circulation to my lower body today. Perfect. Hanging on to that chair if you need to. And then at any point in time, if you feel that you need to grab a drink of water, make sure that you do so. You don't need to wait for me to tell you. Good job. Same idea if you're seated. So if you're sitting up nice and tall like Erica, if you need to use those hands to help out with that marching movement, feel free. We're still in that warm-up piece, so we want to make sure our body is ready to go and moving through that full range of motion for 2 more. And last one. Good work. I'm gonna start picking on my knees now, starting with a tap forward. So whenever you're ready, start alternating those feet, tapping those feet forward. Good work. Getting into those knees and getting the legs moving. And then next we'll move into a tap backwards. So whenever you're ready, tuck that foot either under that chair or behind you if you're standing. You might even notice a little bit of a pull on those hip flexors, but keep that upper body nice and tall, using that chair if you need it in front of you. Perfect, couple more. And last one, taking it now down to those feet and those ankles before we get into that cardio. Let's roll that foot back and forth, heel to toe. Good job. So working through that full foot, that full range, feeling those toes lift off the floor and then that heel for a couple more. And then now taking it over to the opposite foot, starting by rolling that foot back and forth, heel to toe. And already I'm feeling warmer than when we started. So I think it's time that we dive into a little bit of cardio. Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna start with a nice steady march. I wanna start picking up that pace, getting those arms maybe moving here, bringing some circulation now to the whole body all together. And as we go on in our cardio, you might notice that your heart rate elevates, your breathing rate elevates, maybe even start sweating a little bit. Perfect. So sticking with this march movement here, I am now going to add some arm movements. If at any point I lose you, make sure that you come back to this steady march, okay? Start rolling those hands out. Perfect. And we'll repeat all these movements too, so we'll get nice and comfortable doing them. And I always like doing this movement because it really brings your heart rate up. So make sure you're still breathing. Good job. We'll try for maybe 10 more seconds here, rolling those arms. Maybe pick up that speed a little bit. For 3, 2, and 1. Relax those arms, give them a rest. And the next movement I have, we're gonna start changing our march up. Let's march those feet a little bit wide and then bring them back together. So a little bit wider and back together. Now, whatever your arms naturally do, maybe it's one arm swinging, maybe you're holding onto that chair. Perfect. So taking those feet out a little bit wider and back together. Now, if I haven't confused your coordination enough, I'm gonna add those arms that we were just doing to this marching wide and narrow. So whenever you're ready, roll those arms, marching wide, keep them rolling, bring it back together. Perfect, taking it at your own pace. So whatever feels good for you, maybe you're picking up the speed, maybe you are slowing down. Good job. Heart rate is definitely elevated now. Awesome work, taking those feet a little wider and back together, maybe one more time. And relax, shake it out. Perfect, catch your breath here. I'm now going to bring my feet out a little bit wider. And then the last piece of my cardio here is a weight shift. So whenever you're ready, we're gonna start to shift that weight from one foot to the other. If you're seated like Erica, you're shifting that weight from one hip bone to the other. Good job. So starting getting comfortable with this weight shift, maybe you're holding on, maybe you have your arms down by your side. I'm gonna start adding some arms in, starting with that nice big reach forward whenever you're ready. Perfect. So we're shifting that weight, we're reaching those arms. Perfect, and if that feels good, maybe we'll add a little bit more and reach a little bit higher. Good job, maybe reaching for that top shelf. If that's a little too tough on those shoulders, take it back in front. Perfect, just like Erica's doing. Maybe reaching higher, maybe reaching lower. Good job. Trying for a few more, just like that. And last one, shake those arms out, bring those feet back center to that center march. Well done, so that was round 1 of our cardio. So what we're gonna do next is repeat everything that just happened, starting with that center march. All right, so pumping those arms, we're gonna start to notice that we're recognizing these movements. So maybe during this round, we're making our movements a little bit bigger or a little bit faster. Great ways to progress that cardio. Starting with the arms, here we go, roll those arms. Perfect. And again, always the option to ditch the legs or the arms if this is too much to put together. Good job, keep breathing. And again, if you need to grab a drink of water, it's always an option that's available to you. Perfect. Couple more seconds. We're almost there, I promise. And relax. Whew, shake it out. I'm now gonna go back into that marching wide and narrow. So whenever you're ready, take those feet a little bit wider and bring them back together. Good job. Hands can be, again, at your chair or pumping, whatever feels right for your body. Good work. Take those feet out a little bit wider and back together. You might notice this a little bit on the outer and inner thighs with this movement. Marching wide and back together. Perfect. Maybe try one more time. And now I'm gonna start to add in my arms again. So whenever you're ready, start rolling those arms, marching wide and back together. And if that ever becomes too much, stick with the center march or ditch the legs altogether and focus on the arms. Good work. Perfect. A little bit of a workout for our body and our mind today. Awesome job. We're almost there. Let's try for 2 more. Marching wide, back together, and last one. And relax those arms and legs. Well done. Okay, we're moving back to that weight shift. So whenever you're ready, bring those feet a little bit wider and start to shift that weight side to side. Good job. And now if that feels okay, we know the drill now. We're gonna add in a little bit of reaching. Perfect, you got it, Erica. Maybe reaching forward. And if that feels okay and you wanna add a bit more, maybe we're reaching for that top shelf. Good job. Only reaching as high as those shoulders will allow. Perfect. So if your arms are telling you that this is too much, maybe you're taking it back forward. Good work. Let's try for maybe 3 more, 2 more, and last one. March it out. Whew. We're gonna start to dive into a little bit of a cool down now. So our heart rate is elevated. Maybe even now you notice you're sweating. But we are going to cool our heart rate back down closer to resting. Same with our effort. Starting by slowing the pace of that march. Maybe a light swing of the arms. Maybe holding on to the chair if you need to. And I'm gonna come back to slowing the pace of my legs, maybe to a standstill, and roll those shoulders. Beautiful. So giving those shoulders some love after all that reaching we just did. Trying for maybe 2 more. And last one. Take those hands together for me. Let's start making a nice big circle. So whenever you're ready, that feeling like you're stirring a nice big pot of soup, reaching those arms out. Maybe feeling a light stretch in the upper back as you reach those arms forward. Good job. For a few more. And last one this direction, and we'll start heading the opposite direction. So whenever you're ready, drawing that circle in the opposite direction. In that cool down now, so we're slowing down that pace, taking some deep breaths in and out. Feeling your breathing rate come back down. For 2 more. And 1 more. Keep those hands together for me and roll those wrists out 1 more time. Just before we dive into our strengthening. And relax the wrists, relax the hands. Again, I'm bringing it back to my lower body for just a second here as I march my feet out. Make sure I have some circulation going still in those legs. I never want to completely stop any movement, especially after any exercise. So the first strengthening exercise that we will do today will require our band. So today I have a red band and Erica has a green band. My band is a little bit stronger than hers, but make sure you're always testing out your equipment before you get started. So for today, I'll have Erica put that band underneath both of her feet, and she's going to be completing 2 sets of this exercise while I demonstrate my right side followed by my left. So I'm gonna drop that band down by my side here, and I'm gonna step on it with my one foot, but the opposite arm is holding the band. My other hand is gonna hold onto that chair, and I am set up in a lunge-like position. So first thing I'm going to do is make sure I have enough band in my hand, and same with Erica. We're both standing up or sitting up nice and tall, and you're gonna pull that band straight back, squeezing those shoulder blades and relaxing back down. Perfect. Now there's a few things with this exercise. You'll notice I'm not twisting my upper back, nor is Erica. We're leading back with those elbows, squeezing those shoulder blades. Perfect, and back down. Now after a few of these, I'm noticing this isn't quite enough resistance for myself, so I'm actually gonna grab a little lower on my band. But if you notice that's a little bit too much, give yourself a little bit more slack. Perfect. Big squeeze, sitting up nice and tall. Good job. Trying for maybe 3 more. 2 more, and 1 more. Perfect. I'm relaxing those arms, so shake them both out. Same with Erica, and before we restart, I'm going to move over to my opposite side here, and Erica's going in for her second set of the same exercise. So for myself, I'm leaving that tail on the opposite side. I'm gonna hang on now with the opposite arm, and my setup is on the other side, and we are going to start by lifting our, pulling that arm straight back, feeling our shoulder blades squeeze. Perfect. So you want that feeling like you're starting a lawnmower, pulling that arm straight back, a big squeeze of that shoulder blade. Not twisting the upper body, still breathing. Perfect. And we're going for anywhere between 10 to 15 repetitions of each exercise today. And if you're noticing that by the time I say last few, that your arms aren't feeling so tired, maybe that's an indicator that next time we add a little bit more, or maybe you're grabbing a bit more of that band. Perfect. We look good. We're making sure that we're moving nice and slow and controlled. For our last 2, and our last one. Well done, everyone. So shake it out. I am now going to stick with my band, and I'm going to be demonstrating bicep curls, same with Erica. So she's actually going to drop that band where our setup will look the exact same, except Erica will be seated. Perfect. So we're gonna step so that our feet are on top of that band here. And we're gonna wanna make sure that we have enough band in our hand so we feel comfortable bending at our elbow and bringing that band towards our shoulder and back down. Perfect. Now you'll notice when I'm standing here, my other hand is using the chair for support while Erica is still sitting up nice and tall. Both of our elbows are gonna be glued to our side while we do this. And the same principle applies here, so if you're noticing that this is a little bit too easy, maybe you are grabbing a bit more of that band. Perfect. Looks good. You're gonna start to feel that right in that bicep muscle in the front of your upper arm. Good job. And we'll try for maybe 3 more on this side. We got this. All the way up, all the way back down. Trying for maybe, again, 2 more here. And then my last one on my right side, and I'm going to shake it out. If you felt like that wasn't quite enough, maybe afterwards you're going in again for that second set. And I'm setting up now for my opposite arm. So whenever you're ready, setup looks the same. I wanna make sure I have a little bit of a tail there on my band, and my hand is gonna be there just in case I need it for support. Here we go. I'm bending at my elbow, bringing my band up towards my shoulder and back down. Perfect. Feeling our biceps squeeze as we bring that band up. And after my first few, I am assessing How does it feel on my arm? Is it a little bit too much? Is it not enough? Good job. If it's not enough, maybe you're grabbing a bit more of that band at this point. Perfect. Still sitting up nice and tall. We're breathing. We never want to hold our breath during any of our exercises. Let's try for 3 more of these. 2 more. And my last one. Well done. So I'm going to shake out my arm, shake out my hand here. I always like to shake out my hand in between these exercises as well. Make sure that just in case you're gripping onto that equipment a little bit tight, sometimes that happens. We want to stretch out our fingers in between. So our next exercise, we are both going to wrap that band around our armpits and underneath our back. So I'll give everyone a second to get set up here. We want to make sure that we have enough band on either side of our arms. So again, making sure that band is nice and tall up on our back underneath our armpits. And I'm hanging onto that band so I have a little bit of give. And our goal here, we want to be pressing those arms out in front of us, targeting those chest muscles and coming back towards your chest. So again, big press out in front of you and back in. Good job. So pressing those arms out and relaxing in. Targeting those muscles that span all the way across your chest here from one shoulder to the other. Good job. And the way to make this one a bit more challenging, you're gonna wanna grab closer on that band to your armpits if you're noticing that this is not challenging enough. And if maybe you're not able to extend those arms all the way out, perhaps you're leaving yourself a bit more slack instead. Perfect. Posture's still looking good. You want to make sure that you're not letting those shoulders roll forward. Keep that chest nice and open this whole time. Well done. We want to make sure we're breathing through this exercise as well. Good work. Trying for maybe 3 more of these. We got this. All the way out in front and back in. 2 more. And last one. Well done. Shake it out. So again, shake out those arms, shake out those hands if you need to. What I'm going to do now, I'm gonna have Erica use the pole for the next exercise while I demonstrate with a can of soup. You're gonna wanna make sure that if you're using a hand weight, that it's something that you feel comfortable lifting over your head. So if you've ever had a shoulder injury or you're noticing a little bit of unevenness with your shoulders, perhaps you're opting for the option that Erica will demonstrate, or light to no weight at all. So I am going to put my band aside here, and I have a can of soup today for myself. Erica is going to demonstrate 2 sets of the same exercise again today. So I'm gonna use my chair for support, standing up nice and tall. My setup starts here, and Erica starts at her chest level. We are going to focus on pressing that can or that pole right above head and back towards your shoulder, and that is the movement. So big shoulder press and back in. If you're noticing any discomfort, please only go as high as those shoulders will allow. If you're noticing that even that's too much, maybe you're opting for no weight at all. This looks good, everyone. Reaching that arm up nice and tall. I'm focusing on one arm at a time. Erica has both arms going. Excellent. You're gonna wanna make sure it's something that you feel okay lifting over your head and back down. For 3 more on this side for myself. 2 more. And 1 more. Well done. Okay, I'm going to take my time here, shaking out my arm. Erica's gonna shake out both of her arms because she's going in for a second set of that shoulder press while I head over to the opposite side. So take your time. I have my chair in front of me. My setup looks the same as well as Erica's. And here we go. We're going all the way above head and back in. Perfect. A common mistake I see is that we are lifting that pole up and back. So we want to make sure you'll notice too, if I were to turn sideways slightly here, that I'm actually reaching just slightly in front of my head here. So I'm not going all the way past my range of motion. Good work. Our shoulders are gonna start to feel tired pretty quickly. And again, reminder that if this is causing any pain or discomfort, either drop that weight or take a little bit of a rest here. Perfect. 3 more to go. Breathing through that last 2. And then 1 more. Perfect. Take your time, shake out that arm, do whatever you have to do. I'm coming back to that band, so whenever you're ready, I'll have Erica grab that band again. And for this next exercise, we are gonna demonstrate 2 different options to target the same muscle group. So we're gonna be targeting those tricep muscles, which are actually in the back of your arms here. So what we'll do is both of us are gonna start with our arm at our chest here with one hand, and then the opposite hand will either be extending down and backwards like Erica's doing. So she's just going past her hip, or you can opt for that extend right in front with that arm. Now, the closer your hands are together on that band, the harder this is going to be, and the more slack you leave yourself, the less resistance that you're working with. Perfect. Regardless of what option you are opting for, you're gonna be sitting up nice and tall and taking some deep breaths in and out as you bring that band either forward or backward. Beautiful. Both options are targeting the same muscle group. I do find that if you have any shoulder problems or issues, then you might notice that the option Erica is demonstrating is just a little bit kinder on those shoulder joints. Perfect. We'll try for 3 more on this side, everyone. You're doing a great job. Feeling that arm extend, feeling those triceps squeeze at the very end here. And then maybe a bonus one all the way out in front or behind, and relax. Take your time to shake out those arms, and all you need to do now is switch what arm is at your chest. So I will now opt for the opposite side. Erica's all set up and ready to go. She's gonna extend that arm straight back and just a little bit past her hip, and I'm extending that arm right in front of me. Perfect. So again, extending that arm straight back, just a touch past Erica's hip joint, or maybe you're extending that arm in front like myself. Beautiful. Feeling that tricep squeeze as you extend that elbow nice and straight, all while taking some deep breaths in and out. Nicely done, everyone. Sitting up nice and tall, we're looking good. Let's try for 3 more. Looks good, 2 more. And this is our last one. We will relax that arm down, shake it out, well done. So for this next exercise, Erica, I'm actually gonna have you stick with that band, and I'm going to opt for the option with that can of soup again. So if you would prefer to use a hand weight, you can follow my demonstration. Erica is gonna set up similar to her bicep curls. So that band is gonna be underneath her feet, and she's gonna leave a lot of band on one side so that she can bring that arm out to the side. Perfect. So you're gonna wanna leave lots of slack there, Erica. I'm gonna add my can of soup, and I'm gonna stand nice and tall. We're gonna target our shoulders a little differently this time. So hang on to that chair. We're gonna bring that arm out to the side and back down. Perfect. And we aren't going any higher than that shoulder height for this one. Perfect. Making sure too, if you're using that band, that you're leaving an appropriate amount of the band. This one does require quite a bit of slack in order for you to feel it without hurting your shoulder. Nicely done. So again, out to the side, no higher than that shoulder height for either option. Looks good. We'll try for 3 more of these. And then here comes my last 2. And my last one. Now for myself, I'm gonna let that can of soup hang by my side. Erica's gonna actually drop her band. She doesn't need it for this half. And we're gonna target our wrist joint. So I am focusing on flaring that wrist out and turning it back in. Now Erica's doing the exact same thing, just with no weight. Now if you're noticing that this resistance is too much or the gripping of that weight is too much, you can always opt to drop that weight or ditch the weight. Perfect. So again, out to the side and back in. It's a very small and subtle movement. It's very important for those forearm muscles. Those are the muscles that are good for when you're lifting groceries. Perfect. Try for a few more of those, out and in at your own pace. And then whenever you're ready, you can give that arm a little bit of a shake, maybe shake out that wrist or roll it out, and that shoulder, because that side is now feeling nice and tired. I'm heading over to the other side. So Erica's now bringing that tail end of her band to the opposite side, and she has lots of slack on that other end. I'm hanging onto the can of soup with my opposite arm, and I'm starting by lifting the arm out and back down. Beautiful. All the way out and back down. No higher than that shoulder height. That looks awesome. We're still sitting up nice and tall. And again, even though Erica's using that band and I'm using this can of soup, if it's too much, you can always opt for no weight and follow the same pattern of movement. Good work. Arms are gonna start to feel tired pretty quickly here. Our shoulder muscles usually tire out pretty quickly. Let's try for 3 more on this side. Well done. 2 more. And here comes my last one. And I'm going to relax that arm, shake it out. Erica's dropping that band. She doesn't need it anymore. We're gonna drop that arm down by her side and move into that wrist flex and extend out and in. Perfect. So no movement of my arm from my shoulder down to my wrist. It is simply my wrist flaring in and out. Looks good. Not feeling like you're revving an engine here. All the way out and back in. Same option if you're not holding onto a weight, just like Erica's demonstrating. Trying for maybe a few more at your own pace again here. And last one, we'll relax that arm. Roll that wrist out if you need to. Shake that arm out. That side now again is feeling nice and tired. I'm done with my equipment and we're gonna dive into some stretching. So whenever you're ready, we'll sit up nice and tall. Erica's getting rid of that band, and we're gonna start back again with that big shoulder roll. We wanna roll those shoulders out, give them some love after all that work we just did for them. Perfect. Looks good. And then just like our warm up, we're gonna actually roll those shoulders forward again. Whenever you're ready, start to roll those shoulders forward. Maybe you're noticing now after doing a whole exercise routine that our joints are a little bit happier, a little bit looser than when we started today. Good job. Few more. And last one, relax the arms down. I'm gonna take my arms out. I'm actually gonna reach them out and back in towards my chest. Do this a few times. Loosen up those joints again. Perfect. And on this last one, I'm gonna have you hold it out nice and far as your arms will allow, and maybe tuck that chin downward to deepen the stretch in our upper back. Beautiful. And we will drop those arms down by our side, relax them, roll them out, do whatever you have to do. Let's reach one arm up nice and tall, opposite arm down by your side, taking up as much space as you can here. And now with that arm that's on top, we're gonna start to creep it back behind our head, aiming for in between our shoulder blades, wherever your shoulders will allow. And if you need to help support that other arm, you can use your opposite arm to simply support the other arm. Perfect. Take a couple deep breaths in and out, stretching out those tricep muscles we worked on. And we'll drop that arm down by your side, let it melt down by your side, maybe roll it out a little bit. I'll meet you on the other side, so take your time. Reach that opposite arm up as tall as it'll take you. Opposite arm down. Perfect. Feeling that nice stretch of your rib cage. And now with that arm that's on top, we're gonna start to creep it back behind our head. Again, aiming for in between those shoulder blades, stopping wherever you feel you need to, and then supporting the arm only if you feel that you need to with the opposite arm. Good work. We'll allow that arm to just kind of melt by your side, make it feel nice and heavy, maybe roll it out. Do whatever you have to do here. I'm going to start to swim those arms forward and around. Open up that chest as wide as it'll go. And wrap those arms around your back. Give yourself a good pat on the back. You deserve it. You worked super hard today. We'll try that one again. Open up those arms nice and wide. And opposite arm on top. Perfect. Looks good, everyone. We'll drop those arms slowly by our side. Maybe give our arms one more good shoulder roll. I'm now gonna reach one arm across my body here, stretching out my shoulder a little differently. Maybe support that arm by tucking the other one under and roll that wrist out. After all of that wrist flexing and extending, those forearm muscles need a little bit of love. Perfect. And we will slowly let the arm melt down by your side again. I'm heading over to the opposite side. Opposite arm reaching across, other one under, and roll that opposite wrist out. Perfect. I'm gonna do one more for my wrists, and then we'll finish off our class today with a few deep breaths. So I'm going to start by reaching out like I'm telling someone to stop. Opposite arm is gonna allow for a little bit of a pull on those fingers to feel that stretch underneath my forearm right under here. Nicely done. Pointing those fingers down now, I'm gonna apply some light pressure on the top of my hand. Perfect. Now feeling that stretch transfer to the top of our forearm. And we'll head over to the opposite side, starting with that stop sign, opposite hand, light pressure on top of those fingers. Feel that nice pull underneath the forearm. And switching so my fingers go down. You're holding a little bit of pressure on the top of your hand now. Well done. We'll drop those arms down by our side. Let's finish off with a few nice big deep breaths in and out. So starting with our arms down by our side, deep breath in through our nose, and push all that air out. We'll try a couple more of those all the way up and out. And we'll do one more here. And big breath out. Awesome work today, everyone. For more information about the Windsor Essex Community Health Center, you can visit our website in the link down below.